Hi Stampers, welcome to my new video, Working with Washi. I am Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm going to show you today how to use washi tape to make this little banner, and also how to butt them up against each other in the corner and an easy way to cut your corners. So let's get started. So for today, you're going to need Whisper White cardstock. You're going to need 2 pieces, one measuring 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, and your card base, which is going to measure 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, scored in the center at 5 1/2 and folded. And you are also going to need a piece of white baker's twine, and I have probably about 8 inches here. We're actually going to not need that much. We're going to end up trimming it and gluing it to the back of the card. You're also going to need the pansy punch, the Project Life corner rounder punch, assorted rolls of washi tape, and all of my washi tapes are actually from our Project Life collections. And you're going to need this framelit from the Chalk Talk collection. You will need a button from the Very Vintage Designer Buttons. You will need an embossing folder, and I'm using the Lovely Lace because I'm going to use the flower as the center of my own flower that I made with washi tape. And then you're going to need the silver Encore metallic ink. So let's proceed to our first step. We're going to be using the corner rounder punch. I'm going to fold my card base in half. Use my bone folder, and I'm going to round all 4 corners with the corner punch. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my second layer of the Whisper White cardstock. And now we're going to get started with the washi tape. The one I'm using here has a little bit of a silver tint to it. And what I'm going to do is add a piece horizontally, and just going to rip the end, turn that around, and I'm going to overlap where the corners meet. So you're creating an L shape. Now you are also going to need a cutting tool like an X-Acto knife, and please be very careful. And what we're going to do is draw a line from this corner to that corner, and just press hard enough to go through the washi tape. And then using the knife, I can't remember which layer is my top layer, just gently lift it up, and you'll see that the first corner peels off. Now your next corner that you need to remove is actually underneath, so you're just going to lift this up a little bit. Just unroll it, leave it there. Remove the second corner and roll this back in place. And see how pretty that turns out? Everything meets right in the corner. It's a nice clean cut. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Just seems to be ripping crooked here. So we're going to add a horizontal piece, rip, and add one more piece, butting the corner again. And same thing, we're going to go from corner to corner, remove the first corner, roll this piece, and remove the second corner and push this back in place. And there you have 2 perfectly adjoined corners. Okay, now we're going to move on to the flower. And that's another way you can use the washi tape. What I did is washi taped my cardstock panel first, and then I punched it out and embossed it. So let me show you how I did that. I'm going to take some washi tape on a scrap piece of white, And I'm going to make sure that my stripes all line up when I lay them side by side. And I'm going to need about 3 pieces. Okay, so now all my stripes are going in the same direction and they're all lined up. And I'm going to punch right through the washi tape. So there's my flower. And then I'm going to use my embossing folder and center the flower right in the middle of one of the flowers. Hold that in place. And I'll bring in my big shot. And put that through. And I'll show you what the flower looks like. As you can see, it's got the embossing on it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's got all the bumps. And we're going to take the flower and glue one of the buttons to the center using glue dots. And I usually just press in place and remove about 3 of the glue dots on the back. And then just press that in place. So that'll be ready to glue to our card when we're ready for that layer. So I'll put that aside. Okay, and now we're going to get ready to make our little banner with all the little flags. And what I've done is cut some washi tape in advance, about 2 inches long. And all you're going to do, I press it down on my counter so that it stays in place for a little bit. And just put your string in the center. Fold it over. And then you're just going to take your paper snips and make a little flag on the end by cutting it into a V. And you're going to keep doing that. I used 5 of them on my banner. So let's do the next one. I spaced them about 1/4 of an inch in between. Press in place. Fold. And the easiest way I find to make the little V in your flags is to make a horizontal cut in the center and then turn your scissors so they're at an angle and cut each piece. Okay, so I've done 2 of them for you. I'm going to pause my video now and finish the other 3, and I'll come back and show you how to finish the card. Okay, I'm back, and as you see, I have my 5 little flags added to my banner, and they're double-sided. They're not sticky because they're adhered to each other. And now we're going to place it on our card front. And all I did to glue my flag in place is just add glue on the sides of my card. And I placed this side at the top. And then made sure that you put it a little bit longer because I want it to flow, not be a straight drop. And then I just kind of went this way. And once you play with it, you'll see that it will lay perfectly on your card. And then I just kind of trimmed the baker's twine that might have been a little bit too long on one side. And then we're going to add our flower, which has a stamping dimensional in the center. I'm going to glue that to the bottom of my washi tape. And then all we have left to do is to stamp the sentiment. And the sentiment that I'm using on my card is from the Painted Petals stamp set, which is found in the Occasions 2015 catalog. And I'm using this one right here. You are amazingly amazing. And again, I'm going to stamp that with the Encore Silver ink on white, Whisper White cardstock. And now I'm going to use my chalk top framelit to cut it out. So I'm going to bring in my Big Shot machine, and I do have the magnetic plate so that when I place this on here, the magnet is actually going to allow my framelit to stay in place and it's not going to move on me. Here's my sentiment. Really cute. And we're going to add stamping dimensionals to this also. As you've probably learned in my last 5 videos, I love stamping dimensionals. I put them on just about every card that I make. So we'll glue this right here. And we're going to turn this over and add dimensionals to this layer. Whoops. I think I've said oops on just about every video I've made. Okay, now that we have all the backing removed, we're going to add that to our card front. And there you have it, a card that uses washi tape as a background, as a flower that was punched out, and as a little banner. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me and I will list all the supplies at the end of my video. Thanks for joining me and have a good day.